Let's now introduce a lovely dark centre here. The painting's not quite dry, if I'm honest. It's a little bit damp, but I'm so keen to press on with it before the light fades. So I'm just going to put this lovely autumn gold in the centre and then introduce the artist's pigment ink. And we're going to get it to come this way and maybe down here. This is still a little bit wet. I kind of want to camouflage this. So there's bits, the wonderful thing about the ink is that if there's sections that, perhaps you're not very happy with, perhaps, here's the purple, you wish you'd done it a little differently, or then, I'm going to put a whole drop on. The pigment ink can cover up a multitude of sins. There we are. So one nice drip, and then into, well, I think I'm just going to put a little bit more paint in. Just a little bit more paint here. Let's just put a little bit more in to make it move a little, make it separate. So it's just water and paint. That's all I'm putting in here. So water's the key. Now I just want to kind of give it somewhere to go. Nice clean brush into the water. Oh, this is nice. It's starting to move a little bit here. Do before I do that, I'm going to just, I want to draw some little linear sections here with the ink, just to, it is going to go that way. I'm going to persuade it to go that way. But I want a little bit of detail. And because I want it darker than that purple, I'm going to introduce a little bit of green, but I'm not going to introduce the green ink. I'm just going to introduce a little bit of midnight green paint. I'm just going to put a little bit on, not too much. I don't really, just a little bit. I wanted to mix with the purple just to give us a slightly darker colour. So it's just the green. And then I'm going to bring it this way, let it mix, let it do its own thing, and then I'm going to give it somewhere to go. I want it to come out here. I didn't put too much ink on there, just one drip, and I'm going to encourage it to come this way. Oh, look at that. So there's a little hint of the watercolour coming with it as well, which is rather nice. I need to make that a little bit wetter to encourage it to go that way. Lovely. You can see it's just separating nicely. The paint won't separate, it's only the ink, so you'll only see little purple bits of texture. You won't see any texture coming from the paint. I'll just get the clean water on. But the paint is rather nice because it just adds colour to your ink. So let me just give that somewhere to go here. I like to create these little splashes so that you get a little bit of interest there, little nice interesting shapes. Right, I kind of want this to come down here, so I'm going to splash on here a little bit, and then I'm going to get my stick with a little bit of water in, and I'm just going to invite this down here. I want it to come into this wet section. I'm watching this bit here. I might take that back in, so the water, take that back in to encourage it to come this way. So, oh, look at that. Now you see you're getting these lovely little purple gritty bits of texture. Now, I don't really want the edge here, so I'm just going to push this in to create a nice soft edge, and then I'm going to push it back. So I'm going to push that back into there. I'll just turn it so you can see what I'm doing. And then I want this to come this way. I kind of want it to come this way too, but not too much. I'm not sure whether that's wet enough. Yep, I'll just bring it this way as well. And let it join up here. Got a nice area there, and then I'm just going to disperse it with my spritzer. Give it some nice texture. So if you remember, I had a section there I wanted to camouflage. It's well and truly gone. Now I need a little bit of kitchen paper, I think, just something to, I could just use, you could use a little bit of kitchen towel. I've got a little bit on here. I often use it just to sit my brushes on. So if you didn't want that to pool, you could just lift that back into your kitchen paper or your tissue paper. That's gone now, that pool. This is nice, so I don't need to worry about this running down here. But looking at this, look at this, the lovely textures. And as I'm waiting, I'm just going to press this so that I can see. Do you see this lovely blue grittiness I'm getting on here? Now, I can give this somewhere to go. We'll get rid of this. Or I can lift it into the tissue. Either way, I can either let it come off the paper and create texture all around here, or I can lift it up. I'm going to show you how you can create texture on this section of the paper. So give it somewhere to go. So all that texture is just going to go all onto the paper there. Remember, this has got the mixture of the watercolour in and the ink. So the pigment ink is just leaving these little tiny little bits of grit on the paper, which I quite like. Okay. Okay, I think I'm quite happy with that. I'm just going to let that sit. So the beauty of that was that we had a section here to camouflage, and we've done that. We've introduced some purple to this, so we've got the shadow colour and the midnight blue. Lovely textures. Now, because the paper's lifting up, this is coming back here. So I'm just going to bring that back down again. And again, you can just let it go back into the tissue. Okay. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm just going to let that dry.